Recording is underway. Happy Friday, everybody. It is the 9th of April, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Welcome to the weekly recap. Let's talk about stocks, forex, cryptos. We've got Ed in the house, Denise in the house, Wayne in the house. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on Twitch, live on Twitter, and getting live on LinkedIn. So as people start to tune in, hopefully it starts to become more of a routine. This is the set schedule, Mondays and Fridays, 9 a.m. This is going to be easy to follow for me. And I have an opportunity for everybody today to also join me at 10 o'clock if you'd like to switch over and join myself and my partner Tyson Clayton in the Equities on Demand trading room. We're going to be live at 10 o'clock, so we'll have some links for that. It just requires you to have a Smart Trader account. You can join us live today, so that will be fun. We've got a lot of activity planned for the morning. I'm already looking at just in our Equities on Demand classroom, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different stocks we're looking to trade this morning. I'll actually take a look at those to kind of preview them this morning before we wrap up for the weekly recap. Looking to trade those around the open if they fit our parameters and rules according to one of our little day trading strategies. And we have some earnings plays going into next week. We are in on APHA and WFC and BLK. We had an earnings play this week on STZ, which worked out great. So hopefully anyone that was in my Equities on Demand class was able to take advantage of that. Chris, good morning. How are you? Good, thanks. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go. Let's get into the charts here. We understand it's risk in trading. Please and always use trade capital only. Do not trade with money you can't afford to lose. Anything I'm talking about is for educational purposes only. You know the deal. All right. If you're following me out there on social media, best way to get a hold of me is like these videos and leave me a comment in these videos. That's youtube.com/Chris Pulver. Also, if you want to direct message me, you can follow me on Instagram at pulver.chris. You can also follow me on Twitter. I just pretty much push as much social media stuff into my YouTube channel as possible. So, at Pulver Chris is Twitter. I just post, weekly outlooks and weekly recaps. At Pulver Chris is Instagram. You can direct message me there if you follow me. But we're streaming live on Facebook at Chris Pulver Trading. We're streaming live on YouTube, youtube.com/Chris Pulver. Yay! Okay. Trading indicators A to Z. I need to get a video out there. I'm just going to work a little bit through this weekend. I'm going to take a little time for myself. I'm playing some golf on Saturday. Hopefully, we don't have rain. It's like 100% chance of rain. So it's one of those days where meteorologists sour the schedules of golfers, but the rain might come at like 2 in the afternoon. So I'm going to try to play in the morning. But I'm doing some work over the weekend. It is Masters weekend, so round 1 is underway. Justin Rose, awesome round. 7 under par is crazy, considering the average score was, I think, 5 shots worse than that. So pretty awesome start, and looking forward to watching the Masters all weekend. But trading indicators, I owe everybody a video, and I'm trying to think anything else. Well, obviously, I've got some Keep It Simple videos that I need to also polish up. My robot one is almost done. Almost done. So I'm trying to finish that one up with my MetaTrader 4 backtester and portfolio architect. Also, I'm giving everyone a chance today at 10 o'clock if you'd like to, wrap the session up with me. I'll give you the links. You can join Smart Trader, and you can join my session today. It's myself and Tyson Clayton at 10 o'clock for Equities on Demand. We have been super busy this week. This has probably been one of the longest weeks I've had in a while. I'm usually pretty busy. No denying, I'm usually pretty busy. But Monday through Friday, the amount of extra legs and support and follow-up in this class, it's probably been like 12 to 14 hours at my computer most of the day. My little window yesterday was I had a 3-hour round trip to go get a COVID vaccine. That was my only little trip away from my computer. So my butt has been in this chair all week long. But anyway, if you'd like to join me today at 10 o'clock, I'll give you the link to do that. Right? T-shirts, sweatshirts, see it, protect it, collect it. Chris Pulver Trading, get them. If you want them, awesome. Anybody that wants to send me, this is probably going to cost me more money than what I actually make in these T-shirts and sweatshirts. Anyone that wants to send me a video, if you want to send me a video, you can email it to me. Leave me a comment. I'll send you my email. If you want to send me a video on, if my trading, if my videos and my education videos are helping you in any way, hopefully for the better, right? If you send me a video testimonial, I will send you a T-shirt or sweatshirt. Okay, let me know. So Denise, yours is coming. David, yours is coming. Dave, Ed, yours is coming. So those video testimonials are greatly appreciated. And let me know. But you just go to the link. I'll include this in the description for today as well. Right? Good morning, Daniel. Good morning, Gert. How are you? You might want to change. I did change that. It should say 9 o'clock. Oh, what the heck? Yeah, that's true. Why is it doing that? I did trade this. I said I did update this morning. 9 a.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. That's weird. Yeah, I'll make sure I can change that. Come on, YouTube, you're better than that. I did update it through Restream. I thought it was going to post for all of them. So anyway, we'll probably have people tuning in at 9:30 when I'm wrapping up my session. So anyway, but yes, it is 9 o'clock Eastern time. That's what I'm going to make sure. I don't know why the stream doesn't say that. I did update that for my Restream platform. Anyway, but yes, we're looking forward to 9 o'clock Eastern time. That's a nice schedule for me. It will be Mondays, Fridays, 9 a.m., and then we can start to transition into equities on demand. Okay. All right, let's get into the charts today. So I wanted to jump right into some of the charts like the SPY and the DIA and the Qs. We're all looking for higher gaps this morning. Futures, again, looking to the upside. So here's a little dashboard on futures. We have 0.14 on the Dow Jones. Some volatility ahead, right? Dow Jones is giving back a little bit of those gains this morning. S&P is down for futures this morning. NASDAQ is down for futures this morning. So we're going to take a look and see how that translates into some of those opening prices for Wall Street at 9:30. I do want to take a look at those 8 stocks I talked about for my equities on demand strategy. Gold's at 1736, which has also been on the decline. Silver at 25.10, which is off recent highs. I'm hoping to get some more silver at $22. And oil, for the life of it, won't move. We are still at $60 and it won't move. So watching oil closely. We did have some CAD news today in the currency world. It was, I'm assuming, positive by a lot. So we forecasted 101,000 jobs, came in 300,000 jobs, and a big reduction in the unemployment rate for Canada. I love their forecasting. 101,000 came in 300,000. That's a big uptick. So we see a stronger CAD this morning. Here's a currency strength chart. The CAD is still strong. New Zealand is softer. Again, not a ton of volatility on the day, but the Aussie was very weak overnight and starting to balance out. I did get a chart alarm on my Euro Aussie that broke some highs, but we have retreated off those highs. So just keeping an eye on things. Nothing's really breaking, but April is a trending month. Typically speaking, April and May are trending months. I am looking for some decent trends on the Aussie, and actually in favor of Aussie weakness. Now, the one currency pair that's been a little bit annoying is the yen. The JPY is this blue line. So there's my JPY on the legend. The dollar's actually up here with the CAD is pretty strong today, which is kind of nice to see, I guess. But yesterday, look at this. Japanese yen was the strongest currency pair. And then we also had some, Aussie strength and some New Zealand strength, some JPY, faded towards the rest of the day. Get into today's trading. Started strong with the dollar and the Swiss and the euro, and then has given most of it back. So we are seeing an interesting disconnect. The yen is separating from the dollar, right? The Swiss and the euro both softer today. The pound is recovering from yesterday's slide. This is the pound yesterday, very, very weak. And today, pound is much stronger. So just a bit of a recovery. We'll take a look at our charts today, among other things. Thanks, Ed. I appreciate that. Daniel says if Dogecoin goes to $1, I'm buying all. Daniel, don't. Why? Keep it, man. Keep your profits. How about this? How about you buy one course? If Dogecoin goes to $1, you buy equities on demand, or you buy my flex room, and you can stay busy trading for a long time. Okay. Otherwise, come on, man. That's a lot of money. Might as well enjoy those profits, right? That'd be like me saying if Bitcoin goes to $500,000, then I'm gonna, go buy $1 million house. Probably not gonna be the case. I would like to keep those profits. All right, let's see here. Let's go back into the chart. So we have this just flipped actually. So we closed yesterday on the SPY. Okay, we flipped. I was actually looking at this literally 20 minutes ago, and the pre-market was higher. So we have seen a recent tick down in the futures market. We have a ton of gaps from this week. I did crunch the numbers. We had highs around 398, and we closed yesterday at 408. So 398, 408. We're going to go $10. Let me get the old calculator out here. So we're going to go $10 here. So I'm not even on the right screen. $10 here. $10 divided by 398. That's where we had the recent high. So right here, the recent high at 398, we have blown through that. We are 2.5% above recent highs on the SPY. The S&P 500 is, safely above 4,000. We're at 4,094. We have the Dow Jones Okay, at 33,500, the DIA for the week, again, leaving some gaps. This was the high that I was looking at before. We had this blow off top, came back and retested. I told everybody, look to buy these dips. This resistance becoming support. Did that not work? Yes, it did. Right? So the last 2 weeks, we've seen another push higher on the Dow Jones. It's good structure. Okay, but today we're looking for a slight gap lower. This was higher earlier, like 20 minutes ago. We had a pre-market, actually just flipped again. Do you see that? Pre-market was lower, now it's higher, 335.52. So we're going to have some interesting oscillations right around current price, just to see what the market's going to give us today. NASDAQ, okay, I said be long. If we close above these highs, we're looking to be long and challenge this high. So NASDAQ is doing its work. Tech is coming back in full force. I've got some higher levels. I know Facebook has made some new highs. Let's check the FANG. Facebook at new highs at 313.02 was the close yesterday, and we're looking for a pre-market at 313.07. Let's go to Apple. Apple, not above the highs yet, but still holding some support around $120. And, we've talked about this. The NASDAQ, let's go back to the Qs. Okay, the NASDAQ might be doing this. We might see resistance here at recent highs and support at recent lows. So if we blow off this high, and that's going to be a tough thing to do, this structure I think is still intact. So even if we go a little bit higher on the Qs, I still think that it's subject to a bit of a decline right now. One of my outlooks for the next probably 3 months, probably for the next 6 months, is that we're going to continue to see dips, but they will be bought. So we'll see move up and then a dip, maybe a move up and then a dip, and then a move up and then a dip. All right, I will be a little bit more bearish. I will kind of build a more bearish case if we just go up and up and up and up and up. Now, I'm not going to fight that move, but if and when we start to form a top, I think that would be that potential topping pattern, a cup and handle, something like that, if we just blow off these recent highs. But if it keeps doing this, pull back by the dip, pull back by the dip, pull back by the dip, pull back by the dip. If this keeps happening, we can probably stretch another 7, 8, 10+% on the Qs, on the DIA, on the SPY. Those indices, these US markets can still keep stretching higher. So it's not worth fighting. It's probably better to be buying the dip right now and remaining bullish. Okay, for the most part, buy dips, buy lows, and take your opportunities there. I'm still, trying to focus on short-term opportunities that are bullish. Love trading a lot of options around earnings season. That's a lot of fun. That's what we're doing in our Equities on Demand class. Daniel, good question. Daniel says, how will you be looking at the IPO on Coinbase and Robinhood? Robinhood, I honestly have very little interest in trading Robinhood. I would, I don't know. IPO, I'd probably treat it a little bit like earnings, but there's no real history to back it up with. So I think what I'll watch for is I'll just look and see where the price is at. I'm not one that jumps right in at an IPO price. If it opens up and it seems fair and not overvalued, then maybe I take a little test of the IPO price. But if Coinbase opens at, $100 or $150, I'm probably just going to wait. I want to see if there's like that first pop on Coinbase. Maybe it pulls back in, gives me a chance to get a level established. Robinhood, I don't know, man. Robinhood really just kind of crapped the bed in January, and they're trying to democratize trading and make it better for everybody, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I still have some money with them, but I've taken out about 95% of my funds just because of what happened and how poorly everything was treated around GameStop. And I know that it's not all their fault because other brokers did the exact same thing and they froze their platforms. But Robinhood also just kind of showed its true colors where they are a front-running broker. Melvin Capital, Citadel, they're behind them. They raised $4 billion in capital during that couple of weeks with GameStop and all that drama. So, to make commission-free trading, they're getting it somehow. Their option prices are a little bit more expensive. And maybe it changes. Maybe Robinhood does change for the better. But as far as an IPO goes, it's going to be interesting to see how it behaves because I'm certainly not going to jump in at the first price. If they're overvalued, if they come to market with a high price, I'm looking for a drop in Robinhood. But I don't know. I'll just watch. I think IPOs are interesting. SPACs are interesting, but I'm certainly not looking to throw good money at it and hope that it's like this awesome play. We might have a quick 15, 20% rally, but it falls back to where it started, and then we kind of establish some track record or history on that price action. Okay? All right. Aggie, well, then I guess you haven't seen our option strategies because it doesn't matter what direction we trade. We're looking for options to just give us the catalyst is earnings. So if earnings is going to go up or down, we can still make money. So it's good equity management. We're trying to set certain levels where we're getting the best possible price for these option trades with really conservative measurements of where price is likely to go based on historical reactions over previous earnings, previous reports. We develop a little bit more of a bias if we've seen that the previous earnings report was negative. Most likely, we'll start to see a positive uptick or positive uptick, or there will be evidence or data to try to turn that earnings report positive. For example, I think on Wells Fargo, that's one this week that we're really excited about because they've had like 4 negative earnings reports in a row. I'm not saying that the CEO's job is on the line, but certainly he or she wants to turn it around. I don't know, he or she. I mean, it's somebody. Somebody's the CEO of Wells Fargo, and it's probably somebody that everybody hates. Just kidding. No offense, Wells Fargo, but you've got 4 negative earnings reports that we're thinking like, yeah, you'll probably spin it so you have a positive report, or you're going to want to, or else it's going to be a little bit of a problem. Okay. Right, that's what we're doing. Yep. So we've got it traded on both sides. We're using iron condors, if that name sounds familiar, strategy wise. So we've got it on both sides. So if it's, in the middle and it goes up, we make money. We close out the losing side, make net profits. If it goes down, we make money, close out the losing side, make net profits. That's the plan. All right, so we've got the SPY, we've got the diamonds, we've got the Qs. Let's go to the volatility index, which is still sitting at these lows. We still have a monthly pivot up here at 23. We have a yearly pivot that I'm still waiting for. I said this on Monday. We might be waiting for a while. We might be waiting until like September, October to really get some turbulence in the stock market. I think that right now it is kind of full steam ahead. Q1 was solid, Q2 looking to push hard into summer, and maybe not really anything that derails it. So I would, I'm presuming that trajectory on stocks is going to stay fairly bullish. Nothing to really derail it. But remember, this is what we've talked about before. What would be, and I've talked about this for the last several months. Like, what would be the bearish catalyst? Okay, and really, it's down to kind of 3 things right now. It is interest rates rising. That would be one. That's a big one. So you can follow the TNX to monitor those positions. We'll take a look at the TNX here in a second. That's a 10-year Treasury yield. Also, let's see here, interest rates rising, taxes. That's a big one. Okay, so I'll just speak for the U.S. If we go from increase in taxes, capital gains, if we go from 21% to 28%, that automatically makes every company in the world less profitable by 7%. And that either, that could force a vicious cycle where if we all of a sudden see taxes and that's all of a sudden becoming a higher burden, that's, you're less profitable now, we might see some challenges in employment. We might see the fat get trimmed. We might see some lean and mean operations. And that can affect unemployment, which affects our consumption, which we're still looking at like 8 million jobs that are still unfilled from last year's pandemic. So unemployment this week on Thursday, the claims were higher than expected, higher than forecasted. So taxes could be a big burden. The other one would be instead of company buybacks or share buybacks by companies, you would be issuing new shares. Okay, these 3 things to me. Now, again, there could be something worse coming, but I don't think COVID double mutant variants. I don't think the market's really going to react to that. I think that everything that happened last year with COVID was enough to strangle the market for a couple of months. We bought our way out of it. We engineered our way out of it. I don't think COVID's going to really be a catalyst for a bear market, but I think these are going to be the big things. Okay, I think the interest rate rising, bonds showing growth versus risky stocks. If we see interest rates rising, that should help appreciate bonds. If we start to see interest rates going up to 2%, 2.5%, 3%, we're looking for a lot of fixed income transferring from stocks into bonds. And that transition, that kind of exodus from stocks to bonds would also be a helpful catalyst to see a top form. I don't think that's going to happen right now, especially when stocks are, essentially so easy to own and see just tons of growth and just Just keep buying the dips. Just keep buying the dips. But eventually, these, in some way, shape, or form, these will be the realities that I think cause the market to correct. And, correction, could it be more than a correction? Could it be, 8, 10, 12% where that's correction territory? Could it be 20% where we start crossing those bearish bear market thresholds? All that's very possible. Okay. Let's see here. Steve, good question. Steve says, I know you probably answer this frequently, but what broker are you using to recommend from trading these particular assets? Personally, brokers that I have a broker account with Oanda and with Pepperstone and with Devisa. I use Global Prime. I use a lot of Forex brokers. I have several Forex brokers that I trade with. In stocks, I have TD Ameritrade. I have Charles Schwab. I have Webull. And I have Robinhood. And then in cryptocurrencies, I have Coinbase. So those are my platforms. I'm not saying that any one is better than the other. I've got some money spread around. So if one broker locks up, I'm not locked out of my trading. But again, do your research, figure out what broker works for you. I know for Forex brokers, I've recommended this before. I have friends at Forest Park FX, and this is not a plug for them, but they do awesome work. Forest Park. Forest, not, no. Forest Park. I can't type today. FX. There it is. Forest Park. What the heck, man? There it is. Forest Park FX. Okay, so if you're a Forex trader, this is a introducing broker that I work with. 20 years ago, introducing brokers had horrible reputations. This has been good friend of mine, great company. They have an awesome technology side. They work with all these major regulated brokers all over the world. And why do I work with them? Because it's the only ally that I have as a trader. My bottom line is I want to pay the least amount in spreads, the lowest possible commissions. I want the best possible liquidity, and I want my money to be safe. And so all these major brokers that are well regulated, cashback opportunities for rebates, reduction in commission, better spreads, free or complimentary VPS. So if you're running any robots or want to trade, on a VPS to do any automation, a lot of that can be broker sponsored. So all you have to do is contact them. So if anybody's interested, you can do that in all of my videos for Keep It Seriously Simple. All my videos that I post on YouTube, I typically have a link that says if you're in Forex or wanting to trade Forex, you can reach out to Forest Park FX. They work with all these brokers. So again, I'm broker neutral. Same thing with stocks. I'm broker neutral. If you have Robinhood, if you have Webull, fine. If you have Public, fine. If you have Stash and Acorn, fine. I don't care. All I care about is if my education can help people get involved and help people participate and want to become traders and want to be educated traders, that's why I'm here. So it doesn't matter. But do your research on what type of fees you have, what type of commissions you have, what type of pricing structure there is. If you're looking to trade stocks only, well, that's pretty easy. If you're looking to trade stocks and options, you're going to have certain permissions. If you're looking to trade on margin, you're going to have certain permissions. So, there's quite an array of brokers to choose from, but don't be overwhelmed. I mean, you can find them, and like I said, the more regulated, the better. Same thing with stockbrokers. I'm choosing some big ones: TD Ameritrade. Tastyworks, Thinkorswim is TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab. They're big ones. They're big brokers. Okay. All right. So does that answer your question, Steve? Hopefully it does. All right. Let's go. Let's see here. Wow, that's interesting. Delivers Volvo trucks out of Dublin. Is that Dublin, Virginia? Amazon must be growing. Well, you know what? I saw something last night really interesting. You know how this week has been the Alabama union vote for Amazon? It sounds like Amazon is winning that battle. So it sounds like that whole Alabama Amazon headquarters, I don't think they're going to unionize, which, if that's the case, could be a huge win for Amazon. And I am curious to see. I think Amazon is growing a ton. I'm happy that I got in at, added more at 29, 29.50 or so. We had lows down here at 2,900. Added some more at 29.50. I'm just kind of waiting patiently. If it comes back down to this yearly pivot, which is around 2,800, I have all these great levels on Amazon. I'm curious if we will actually see Amazon bust through these highs. So if it's not, then it goes up to the highs and it's a range. We just see this tight range that sticks around for a while. And eventually, do I think Amazon's going to be a $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 company, $10,000 company? I do. At some point, their share price, I think, will go up. I think that they have been very disruptive. And, to their credit, in a good way for Amazon, but probably a horrible way for anyone trying to compete with them. So, I guess if you can find a way to join them instead of beat them, right? If you can't beat them, join them. So if there's a way to work with Amazon logistically in any capacity, that would be probably a good thing. So, but anyway, I mean, watch for the highs, but there's still room to grow towards 35. If we pull back towards 29 or hit the yearly pivot at 28, I'm still a buyer on Amazon for the long term. But I would assume that they're busy, they're growing, their eyes on web services, growing their e-commerce, drones, deliveries, fleets. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they put UPS and UPS and FedEx out of business. Who knows? Or maybe DHL. All sorts of crazy stuff. Yep. All right, let's take a look here. It is 9:26. Let me take a look at some of these. I've got some stock opportunities here. Let me take a quick peek on the 15-minute chart. If we have some gaps lower, I might end up taking a couple of trades today while we're in this session. So I have one. It is TME. So TME pre-market is actually going to gap lower. I think I'm going to look at gap lower at 24. I'm going to put in a limit buy. Let me see if this one's still valid. Give me a second here. By the way, I know that I'm going to start my equities on demand session with Tyson at 10 o'clock. I do want to make sure you can get the link. So let me get my trade. This is TME. Let me verify this is still in a valid trade. So TME. So let me verify this is a good setup, and I will look at my buy trade here. Okay, so I'm moving my stock in TME. So the close yesterday. Oh, come on now. So what is this stock? 10 cent. Oh, this is 10 cent. 10 cent music. TME, 10 cent music entertainment group. Is this the company that owns like BTK or whatever, that like Korean pop group? Okay, so 1925 looking for a gap lower. I'm going to look for a limit at 1920. Let me see if I can get this traded. Let's see here. Can I buy this one? I should be able to buy this one. Account TME. Go. Trade. There we go. So I'm going to buy. All right. So I'm looking for a limit buy at 1920. Oops. No. $19.20. Oh, my Lanta, dude. What are you doing? Okay, 1920. I'm going to put in a limit order at 1920. I'll do 100 shares, review, and place. All right, so I have a 1920 limit order. So if this does gap lower like I'm showing here on the chart, we're looking for a pre-market at 1922. Now, I said 1920. So what this is going to have to do is, if I've got a limit buy at 1920, I'm going to have to see price gap lower than 1920 in order for me to get filled. If it doesn't, I might not get this trade. Okay, so I'm looking for this trade to pop up for this morning. That's one of them. I'm going to take a look at another one here. So that is 10 cent music industry. That's TME. The next one is GME, GameStop. This one is also in pretty good territory. We started to come off the lows yesterday. We have a slight gap lower as well. This is a 12-cent gap lower. GameStop has a new daily pivot right there. We did gap. It's hard to tell where we gapped actually. Let me see if I have that TME filled. TME has not filled yet for me, so I'm still watching. Still watching. Actually, I think I'm in. Hang on a second. Account. TME not filled. Order status. TME is open, but not filled. All right, still looking. Come on, Timmy. All right, GME. So I think we did gap lower. There is, let me bring up another chart really quickly. So we have the close from yesterday at 170.20. We have the open at 169.48. So we did gap slightly lower. GME would be a spot that we can trade. I'm looking at a daily pivot. Let me get this over here. Sorry, I'm moving browsers around really quickly. There we go. This should be a little bit easier to navigate. So we have GME daily pivot sitting at 173.35. We're probably going to come up and hit that pivot pretty fast. So GME has one trade. I think I'm going to pass on that one for right now. Let me go through the other ones. VIPS, I'm going to take a quick look at all these other ones. VIPS, we did gap lower in this one as well, going to the upper band. Let me check to see if we have a pivot for today. Any gaps recently? VIPS, it is VIP Shop Holdings. I have no idea what that is. We have a monthly, weekly pivot as well. Can we go up on the day? Did we gap lower? We did gap lower, 28 and change. Okay, I'll buy some shares in this one as well. So we did gap. Actually, no, never mind. Never mind. I'm not going to take this trade. Sorry. I need to see. This has to be yellow or green. This whole box right here has to be yellow or green. So it doesn't have the pattern. I'm not going to take this trade. GME, does this one have the pattern? It does, right? It's green. Yes. So that one's a valid trade. VIPS, I'm going to pass on. So it gapped lower, but we don't have the. This needs to be yellow or green for me to take the trade. So I'm passing on this one. Next, we have SAIL. We have SailPoint Technologies. I've actually traded this one before. This one also gapped. Wow. Crikey. That's a nice little capitulation move to the downside. This one might be a good one to consider. SAIL. I have two different tickers here. SAIL, I have Steel Author, and then I have something else. We're looking for SailPoint Technologies in the US. Yeah. So this one has a daily pivot. We gapped lower. 48.21. That's a good looking trade. All right. So SAIL. Let's see here. Let me see what I've got here. Up to 50 bucks. All right. Come back to that one really quickly. VIAC. Viacom. I'm going to pass on Viacom, even though it's probably a great looking pattern. We didn't gap lower, so that one doesn't fit the parameters. But Viacom was also in all that drama with Credit Suisse and what was it Artigos, that like family fund that lost like $8 billion last week or the week before because they didn't disclose their positions because they have some type of SEC workaround or Dodd-Frank workaround because it's a family fund. Basically, they don't have to disclose public holdings. So that's what ended up happening. Anyway, that's Viacom. I'm going to pass on that one. EXAS, that is Exact Sciences. This one also gapped lower. This is a good looking trade, 127.39. Target would be 130.28 just for the day. But we did successfully gap lower on EXAS. So that trade is valid. LLY, this is Eli Lilly. This one gapped higher, so that one's not a trade for today. SPWR, this is SunPower. This one gapped lower, but already started to go. So, well, I missed the trade. Maybe I can get filled here. That's not too bad. Let me take a look on the higher time frame on SunPower. SPWR. I want to see if I can get maybe some structure on this one on the higher time frame. All right, so this SPWR. All right, that looks fairly promising. Starting to go up, daily pivot. It's already starting to rally. Let me see if I can get a limit fill on this one. What's the low? What did we open at? We opened at 29.11. The low is 28.88. Let me see if I can get a limit fill on SPWR. So let me go to trade and SPWR. And look and see. I might not get this trade, but I'm going to look for a fill around the low of the day, 28.88. So I might not get this trade, but I'm going to take it. So let's see. 8.88 for the day. And review. Place. All right. So I'll show you, like you're not seeing me take the trade, but I'll show you. Here we go. So here are just a couple of running positions. I don't think that did I not get filled on the other one either? Crikey. So I have my TME is filled, okay, and SPWR is right here. So I'm looking at 100 shares on SPWR, limit buy at 28.88. I did tick the TME order, and that was filled at, looks like it was filled at 19.20. So let me go positions. TME is right here, and currently I'm upside down 10 bucks. So hopefully this will run up to hit our upper band for our little day trading strategy and try to make 50 to 100 bucks on this trade. That'd be pretty sweet. And also I'm looking to see if I can fill on SPWR, which as of now has not been filled. So I'll just monitor this position. So and I do have CSIQ is another one really quickly. This was from yesterday, CSIQ. And this one was a gap lower, and it's still pushing lower. Let me take a look at this one on the higher time frame. CSIQ. That doesn't look very fun to me right now, but we could still fight back for the day. Canadian Solar. All right. Take a look at the 4-hour chart. So if I'm just taking, and this is what I want to do. I mean, I like to look at some structure on the charts. I'm looking for major levels of support. If I was going to buy CSIQ, I would approach the same strategy that I talked about today, just looking for, we call it bottom fishing, equities on demand. Looking for this. If we come back into these levels here, okay, this to me is a really strong level of support. So if this drops for the day, maybe today is not the best day to trade CSIQ, but next week, if we close down here and go into Monday's trading and we have the same pattern, I would probably 99% take that trade on Monday. So if we see the same pattern on Monday, that's a good sign. I'm going to take that trade. Okay. Yeah, Daniel. In fact, I will give everyone a chance today. If you want to join me at 10 o'clock, you can all join me at 10 o'clock in Equities on Demand. Tyson and I are going to run the session. In order to do that, it's actually very simple. So some of you in the room or some of you in the session today on YouTube have Smart Trader. If you do not have Smart Trader, this is the easiest way to join. Okay, smarttrader.com, and you can, let me go to an incognito window here. Let me go to an incognito window, and go to Smart Trader. Okay, smarttrader.com. All you have to do is get started with a free account. If you just fill out for like a free Smart Trader account, costs you nothing. You can go to Get Started, fill out your information, have Smart Trader running on the charts. I'll do that right here. Let me see if I can get a test on this. So Get Started, and hopefully this works. So CP test cptest@gmail.com. I don't know if it's going to work or not. If it's like that email is not real, then maybe it doesn't work. But you can fill it out. Okay. Let's see here. And 888. Okay, let's see if it lets me join. It does. Okay, so right there. Now I'm in Smart Trader. I say I'll just stay with the free one for right now, just to check out today's Equities on Demand. Once you're in the charts, check this out. Just go to the charts here in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, in the upper right-hand corner, there is a trading room section, and you can click on this trading room. If you click on the trading room, check this out. Okay, you can go to this welcome tab at the top, and everybody that is watching this can get an Equities on Demand today. Now, if you're watching this YouTube session for me today, April 9th, this is only good for today. Okay, but I will say that probably every couple of weeks, every month or so, Tyson and I are going to be doing this. We want to be able to show traders that Equities on Demand is awesome. We're having a blast. We're trading a ton, and we're going to enjoy this session. All these sessions are going to be really, really cool. So this is how you do it. I just came into trading, the upper right-hand corner, clicked on the trading room. You have this little welcome tab at the top. If you click on the welcome tab, pull this Equities on Demand. Once you click on that, you're now in the room. Okay, so we should, it says trading room is not in session. When we go live at 10 o'clock, there should be a button here to join the room. So you're going to look for something here. When it says trading room is in session, you should be able to join live. Okay, and that's for today. All right, SPWR is at 28.65. I did get filled on that, yes. Okay, so I did get filled at 28. My limit order was filled. Let me check that order status. Filled at 28.88. Okay, so it is sliding a little bit. So SPWR is down a little bit for the day. 10-cent music is also down a little bit for the day. So I'll just see how the day goes. It unfolds. No big deal. Ed says blue box. Yep, there should be a blue box here in the upper right hand corner. Should look something like this, and it should say join now or join the session in the upper right hand corner, right? So anyone that's watching today, if you want to join Equities on Demand, we're going to be live at 10 o'clock. So in 20 minutes. Cool. All right. So have at it, and we'd love everybody to come in and check it out. All right, I am going to go back to some trading today. So CSIQ, I think Tyson took this trade yesterday. This one's obviously not looking great today, but let's get some context. Like I said, CSIQ, this could be a trade for Monday. If this carries over into, let's say it has a pretty rough day today, it carries over into Monday, this would be a trade that I'd be interested in revisiting on Monday and look for a buy trade into next week's pivot, possibly Monday's pivot, but see if it just uses this structure as some major support. The other one was DICSA, that's Discovery Inc. Wow. Massive sell-off and a lot of pausing. Let me check this one on the 15-minute chart. This one might hold pretty tight. Discovery Inc. right here. This one did not, it did gap lower. Son of a gun. Okay, so a couple things. One is it actually closed back inside the range, so technically that would not have been a trade we took. It closed back inside the range, so today's trading, even though it did gap lower, it wasn't a trade I would have taken today because yesterday's close was in the range. But if anybody did take this trade yesterday, which some of our traders do, they will take the trade prior to the day's close, and it's going up to that upper band. That is the trade. So you can see my notes here. I actually posted this in our trade tracker document. So I said technically we closed inside the bands, but I know that Tyson entered this yesterday and he's actually in profit today, and it's going to hit the upper band, or if it does, then close out for some profit. Okay. All right. So that just covers some. We had little 8 day trading opportunities I want to review. I am in TME and I am in SPWR. So I'm going to look and see how those play out for the day, try to make a few bucks there. Okay, next, let's go into some currencies. I know we had some news today on the CAD. I'm only going to go for another maybe 5 minutes or so. I got to get ready for Equities on Demand. I am long on the CAD Swiss. We had the news today that was really positive for the Canadian dollar. Couple things that this is going to play out. We could have this high to low. I could be getting this news today helping this with a pullback. So I am long on the CAD Swiss based on this point being scored by the bears. I'm looking for a pullback towards a missed pivot or a pocket. And I think Shelly asked me earlier on my YouTube channel, what's a pocket? And I said the best example I can show is looking at the Swiss National Bank's Euro Swiss move in 2015. Let's go back to that chart really quickly, and I'll go back to the CAD Swiss. You can see how that relates, going from like a daily and weekly chart all the way to a 1 hour chart. So take a look. Let's go back to 2015. Let's see what pockets look like. Okay, this is like the biggest pocket you'll ever see in Forex. And this happens in stocks, this happens in cryptos, this happens in Forex, it happens in futures. It's amazing. Like, I teach price action, I trade price action, that's my deal. So this giant move, which was a flash crash within like minutes, this created this insane inefficiency. All of this candle right here was a massive inefficiency. And so I know that once we establish the low, okay, my opportunity to trade is I'm looking for price as we go up, we pull back. I would love to see if we have a cup and handle or we have a double bottom. So I'm looking to buy it at the double bottom, which is right here, okay, or I'm looking to trade some type of like breakout pattern over here or some type of neckline break up here. But I'm looking for buys so I can take it back up into this pocket, which is way up here at literally 1.20. And I just want you to notice what price does. So when these pockets get created, okay, this whole candle's a pocket, but it's amazing. Price forms a reversal pattern, goes up, pulls back. We have a wedge over here as well, goes up, pulls back, have a wedge right here, goes up, pulls back, trends, fake out all the way up to the highs. Exactly where the breakout happened at 1.20, this market found it. And that became like this incredible destination for profit. And then what's even more, to me impressive as far as technicals is once this high was hit, look at what happened. We formed a top and we proceeded to trend all the way back down. So these pockets are also massive levels of supply and demand. If you've seen that in the markets before, demand or support levels, supply being sell levels, but major resistance. right at 1.20. Topping pattern. We've been trending to the point where I was looking at this area is also now a pocket. Okay, and recently we had this level here in this yearly pivot also formed some resistance structure. Plus we had wave cycles, all sorts of good stuff, putting this whole puzzle together of technical analysis. So that's a great example. That's a massive example. You can take this also on smaller time frames like the CAD Swiss. So that's what I did on the CAD Swiss. Let me take a look at the smaller time frame. On this 1 hour chart recently, let me go forward here. There we go. So recently we've had a pretty strong sell-off on the CAD Swiss, right? And you can see, even recently, these candles, to me, have formed some pockets. So that right there, that whole area on the 1 hour chart is pockets. If I was going to put an exact line on it, I would say this level right there and this level right there. So I'm long based on this support. Okay, I'm long right here, and I'm looking to see if price will work its way back up into this pocket area. And so if it gets into the pocket, this is what I call the touch of the pocket. This is what I call the close of the pocket. And this is where I make my money. So I can be long into this area, protect my profits, and I think this is still going to drop. I think this will be high, low, lower, high, lower, low, and I can still buy this lower. But for right now, I'm in kind of this corrective mode. I'm looking for a bit of a retracement on CAD Swiss, and I'll see if I can make some money on that pocket area. Make sense? KISS video on pockets? Sure. I should just splice this 5 minutes up and make that a video. But yeah, I can do a more detailed video on pockets because it's also, multiple markets, right? Any questions? I mean, again, that was kind of for Shelly. I think Shelly's the one that asked about it. But sure, I can make. I want to finish up that robot video on my. I keep it seriously simple. I need to do a couple of trading indicators A to Z videos. I'm also, and I'm doing this for Equities on Demand as well. I'm also doing broker videos, and I'm going to do this for Forex and for stocks and even for cryptos. I don't have a lot of. I mean, actually, I'm not going to do it for cryptos because I have one broker. That's all I care about. But for Forex and stocks, I'll do multiple broker videos. I think, again, my whole point of the YouTube channel is to provide timeless content. So if you're a MetaTrader 4 trader or you trade Forex, there's tons of brokers you can use. So navigating MetaTrader 4, working with different brokers. If you're in stocks, navigating Charles Schwab's platform. They have Street Smart Edge. They have their web platform. TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, or their web platform. Fidelity, TradeStation, we talked about yesterday. Okay, Robinhood, Webull, all these different stockbrokers, they're kind of the same. You just have to figure out how they, park their order windows and park their options chain. And once you have that to navigate, it's pretty straightforward, and you're just buying and selling. Okay, can we talk CAD Swiss? I just talk CAD Swiss. I'm long. I'm long CAD Swiss. I'm long until I hit this daily pivot or into this pocket, and I'm going to be short-term long till about 7,400 or 7,440, 7,450. I'll take some profit in there. Now, because I'm long on CAD Swiss, I said this in my trade room this week, I'm also noticing that the dollar CAD has not broken this stubborn little trend line yet. So we might see the dollar CAD hold this level and it pulls down next week and goes back up, and we start to then break the trend line later. Or we might see this dollar CAD holding here, heading lower, heading lower, heading lower, heading lower. Maybe it scores a point. Maybe the dollar CAD scores a point. I'm still going to be long on dollar CAD, right? I'm still long on dollar CAD and very bullish on dollar CAD as long as we break this trend line. Another thing that needs to happen for dollar CAD to move is going to be oil. Not USD oil, US oil. Oil. We have to have oil change its tune. It has been sideways. It has been stuck. And so we have this really nice resistance point around $66, and it is doing absolutely nothing. So it is sideways here and here. So oil is stuck for right now, but even if we just spend some time over here, another week or two on the right side of this trend line, we might come back and retest this high. We might come back and retest this high, but I'm still looking for shorts on oil, which means I think CAD is ultimately going to be a little bit weaker. Okay. Dana says Doji to the moon. All right, what's Dogecoin doing today, Daniel? What's Doji doing today? It's at 61 cents. All right, what's Ripple doing today? Ripple had a great week. Ripple's at $1 again. Cool. That's exciting. Okay, what's basic attention token at? I'm looking at some of these big growers for me. Basic attention token looking to get back to the highs at 145. All right, where's Ethereum at? Where's Litecoin at? Let me check some of these majors. Litecoin testing the highs, trying to get up there. Ethereum trying to get up there. Wow, so we broke the highs. Was it this week? Yes, we broke the highs this week on Ethereum. No, that was last week's high. So we're right back up to the highs again. And Bitcoin at 58,479. Okay, so highs are set around 61.9. All right, let's go cryptos. All right, traders, I'm going to go and wrap it up there. I'm going to try to make sure that my label is changed for the YouTube channel. We are definitely going live Monday and Friday at 9 a.m., not 9:30. So I updated that information that should have popped up on the restream. It doesn't matter, but just make a note of it. If you're joining my YouTube channel on Mondays and Fridays, we'll be live at 9 a.m. Okay. So I know we packed in a lot of information today for a recap. I'm going right into a live trading session, equities on demand, if you're interested. Okay, now I can't share a live link right now because I'm going right into the classroom, but remember, go into smarttrader.com. If you don't have an account, go into smarttrader.com. If you do have an account, smarttrader.com, go into the upper right-hand corner, into this trading room tab, and click on Equities on Demand. There will be a little welcome tab. Go find Equities on Demand. We'll be live at 10 a.m. and look to see you all there. Okay? All right, thanks a lot, traders. I'll see you in Equities on Demand, 10 o'clock. Everyone's free to join. Okay, talk to you soon. Thanks, bye.